Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. That answers that question. Okay. Final GDP in 15 minutes. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. Wonder where JB is.
I think I'm in a little early today, so I'm sure he'll be along in a second.
I'm usually late, but he's usually here by now, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Looks like maybe this move down overnight was triggered by European CPI numbers.
Yeah, the bonds did make quite a move.
German was 0.2 versus 0. Because I was expecting it to do nothing. Just because we got GDP coming out this morning. Look at my water here. A lot of awful lot of people. Bottom of the spread.
Order filled. Order filled.
Does anybody know what town JB lives in? Thought I'd check the weather in his area.
HEPH333 said good luck everyone. I almost always
I
do very
expected a
poorly
bigger
after a
move off
really good day,
GDP.
so I'm taking the day off. With the holiday week, I don't expect favorable price action until after. I'll.
After that huge move overnight. Well, it shows cloudy in Ontario, but I don't see storms. I know. I hope everything's okay.
Fran said have fun. Master Yoda said out 26. Tick Magnate said morning all. Master Yoda said GM.
Are you in? Good.
Master Yoda said L.25.
Of delta X.
Are you on Jigsaw?
What about you, Bill? Are you looking to go short here?
No. I mean, I think the market's going down, but it's way over sold, and I'd be looking for a way to buy. So we're sitting at the 50 SMA on a daily chart, so it's one of the two numbers that big traders will trade and look for.
Fish doing something.
153.25. Where's John this morning?
I,
Did Remus open the room? I don't see John logged in. That's why I asked. Somebody had to open the room.
The room will get this far. We just don't have charts.
Yeah, nobody has to open the room
Oh, really? Okay.
on this one.
Well, you just had a mammoth 1,000 plus spike, delta selling spike on a 1 minute chart. It took the market absolutely no place. Zero.
they haven't broken 20.
Didn't go down a tick from that. So that doesn't mean it's going to go up, but it means that the sellers can't push it at this moment. They're trying it again. So, it really depends on, will the buyers show up? Do they believe, if you've been a buyer this morning, you've had your head handed to you. Actually, I'm already done for the day because I got my money on the way down.
Oh, so you did already take one?
Yeah, the last couple of days we've been getting a move about a half hour before the market opens. So, and it's been big. So, looks like they've broken through all the buying. So this, at the moment, it'd be obviously the market looks like it's going down, but it doesn't look like it is. The sell signal was at 27 on a 5-minute chart. Continuation, that is, not a continuation signal. When you get a move this big, you wait for a second retest of a low before you would be a buyer. Otherwise, you're really just putting your money at excessive risk.
I'm short. Out here.
Well, I don't see shenanigans because I don't look at that, so I can't comment. All I look at is bar structure. And at the moment, there's, we had a doji bar before last on a 5-minute chart. So on a doji, if it comes out the top, you might consider being a buyer.
Order
but it
filled.
came out the bottom. So
But what happened was there was offered, which is like the biggest at close, and then up to 24.
Yeah, Seth, I got to tell you, I don't even pay any attention to that because those things can get pulled just as fast as they're there. And this morning when I got my 2 ticks, there was 1,000 offered, and it went right through.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, but that's the whole thing, is that trying to do something and do.
No, it means that somebody's playing with the market. That's all it means to me.
Order
Now,
filled.
feel free to believe what you want to believe, but those things can get pulled just as fast as they can get put on in an instant, and I don't believe them for a minute. So look at the bar. That's price action. That's what actually happened. That's your most up to date, up to the second
Order
look at what
canceled.
traders actually did, because they actually did it. They didn't threaten to do it. They're not thinking about doing it. They did it.
I just don't want somebody really big.
What do you think moves the market? Somebody big
If
doing
it's
something. Not
really
us.
obvious what they're doing. That one, it's like you said, it can go through, or it can bounce off of it. Like, don't know. I have no edge there.
I believe your only edge truly is looking at what just happened at the moment it happened and being able to measure what just happened with volume. So volume and bar structure for me is it. I mean, I listen to you and John every morning, and you guys, you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Oh, it could be this, could be that. I think it's going to go here and all the rest. But nobody really knows where it's going to go. Nobody knows until it actually happens. So I think, and this is my opinion, your best analysis is, okay, this is what just happened. What's likely to follow? Not what just happened, or are we in a Keltner channel, or do the Bollinger Bands get violated, or is there some moving? I mean, that's all nice information, but I don't know how you trade off of it. And when I was a broker, I know this for a fact, over 95% of the people that trade lose money because they think that because something happened every time the situation occurred, that it's going to recur just the same way, and whatever direction the market's going, they think it's never going to change, or they step in front of a freight train and try to pick the bottoms and the tops without seeing evidence, and they blow out their account. So I'm not trying to be disparaging or anything, but having been a guaranteed introducing broker and doing this, I mean, I just see what people do day in and day out, and it's a fallacy that if you think you can look at a trailing indicator and pick the future, you're sadly mistaken. I mean,
Well,
John comes the closest by identifying the levels where it's likely to go.
Master
I think
Yoda
there's
said.
a lot of value in that. But as far as looking
Master
at
Yoda
who's
said.
throwing 1,000 contracts on the
Master
dome,
Yoda said nothing.
that's just a game. That said, I'll be quiet because obviously I'm contradicting things that you say or believe, and
well,
I'm not trying to be contrary.
I don't necessarily, because I'm not saying what I saw was predicted. But what I'm saying is actually the opposite. What I saw says to me that I have no ability to predict. If I don't,
Master Yoda said
I'm
looks
not
like they
able to
want to
predict
break
what's
low
gonna
or at
happen
least
next.
23.
Like I've been doing.
Master
tracking
Yoda
this
said 225 ZN.
every time that we come up price and there's 1,000 on it and we trade it, but with a 4 target and a 4 tick stop. I've seen it. Times it was profitable. Oh, is that an edge? It's not. That means that
Oh,
I don't want
it's a
to
loss because you paid commissions.
Yeah, exactly. So if I see something like that.
Okay, just something as simple as a 8 EMA on a 1,000 volume chart. If you're trading below it, you're going down. If you're trading above it, you're going up. If you're a couple bars up, couple bars down, like what we're getting right now, you're in transition. And it's as simple as that, to just get a general feel for which way you prefer to be a trader. Now, let's say you're still preferring to sell. Very logical right now. The 30-minute chart's in a sell, the 10-minute chart's in a sell. There's nothing closing above the 8 EMA. There's no evidence that it's going to stop anytime soon. So what are you going to look to decide where to go next? Well, you're probably preferring to be a seller. So what you'd really like to see is the market try to go up, see good volume, or good buying delta, or both, and see it fail. And when it fails, then the sellers get emboldened again and they go down. It's human emotions. Markets are human
Order
emotions.
canceled.
Even computer programs are programmed by people, and they put their own human emotions into their program, whether they know it or not. So if you try to be a buyer and you got your and you really made a big commitment and it went nowhere, what are you going to do? You panic and you get out. And this
Order
is why most
filled.
people buy at tops and sell at bottoms. That euphoria, oh, I'm going to go along, but it's already down 20. You know? So just look for the logical stuff. Pick out a few conditions that you can read very well. You don't have to know everything about bar structure and the rest. Just a few setups that you know are fairly predictive, that you feel comfortable trading, and your records say that you're successful at it, and just wait for them to occur. And if they don't occur, you don't trade. So that's my opinion. And again, I've seen too many people lose too much money, especially in a moment of high emotional reaction, or they change their plan and they absolutely know what's happening and they double and triple up, and then it goes against them, and then they panic and they get out, and then it goes the direction that they thought it was going to go, but the pullback shook them out, and now your confidence is shaken and you're in trouble. So, well, it says this meeting will end shortly because everyone but guests have left. I guess that means I blabbed too long and you didn't get a word in edgewise.
Now.
If it does that, we can probably just log back in and start another.
Maybe somebody needs to share a screen or something to keep it going.
No, it's because everybody's a guest.
Ah,
You need a moderator. I don't know, Remus, can you be a moderator?
No,
No, you don't have those login credentials?
Order filled.
no, not for his Skype thing.
Does,
His Microsoft product.
did John have like an internet outage today or another event to go to, or?
No, I mean, I sent him a text a while ago. He hasn't replied yet.
That means he may have no internet, right?
Well, he would still have cell phone tower stuff, though. Text to his phone. Those are usually still up.
It's a little disconcerting.
Well, personally, I hate Skype, so it doesn't matter to me. Skype's a resource eater. Hey, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the last 8 bars selling delta on a 1-minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were dojis. One went down 1 tick on exceptionally high volume at 8:01.
At 23.
9:01 Eastern time. And they couldn't take it down. So what do you got to do?
Oh, look, it let me rejoin.
Well, I guess you can open a meeting without being a moderator. Huh?
Yep.
We have audio.
Yep. Yep, I hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you, Bill. Don.
CK.
She hadn't logged back in yet.
Is her name Carolyn again?
Chris.
Chris, that's right. Yeah, she lives not terribly far from me. She's up by Lake Geneva.
Was that where she used to live, or I thought she was in like Wisconsin now?
Which is about 10 minutes away from me.
Oh, okay. But she moved to a different state.
Yeah, well, Lake Geneva is kind of like the largest lake in this area, and it's very crowded, but old money, very nice. I wonder how long they get before they cut you off again at the knees. Well, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by Skype. You know, when you got 8 bars, 8 minutes in a row with good delta selling and reasonable volume and a spike, and it doesn't go anywhere, you just got to go up a little bit to pick up some more sellers. Some people are going to take profits. They're going to see that and say, okay, time to get out. I can always get back in.
Well, I'm worried that what's going to happen is we're going to get sucked back into that high volume node at 26, 27.
Chart, my bars are being intersected by the 8 EMA right in the middle, which shows no conviction whatsoever.
What I'm worried is going to happen is we're going to get sucked into that volume node at 26, 27 again and go nowhere forever.
The 30, the 10, and the 5 all show selling. Five's got 4 dojis out of the last 5 bars, even with selling spikes. And it's coming out of the oversold area. So it's hard to make it more interesting than it is because it's not interesting right now.
What's not?
But you saw the attempts. Oh, there's John. John with his favorite fish. Got your internet back, John? I guess he's not responding to insults this early. Either that or Remus cut off his mic.
Like I see screen. I had to turn. He must not have his mic on.
Did all those pretty colors.
No mic on yet.
There you go.
How are you guys?
Well, we've already solved all the problems of the world, so
Have you?
you can log off now.
All right.
I'm in green right now, so I think we're done.
That's good. Good news.
I really am looking at this and thinking, not really seeing a whole lot of it moving somewhere.
What is that?
Well, so big overnight move, trading down, which I was a little surprised at, but I think that was because
Tick Magnate said
Guy
some
news.
buying starting to show on ZB.
and then thought could contradict all this down pushes back up was the GDP, and the GDP came out and that number was good and basically did nothing. So came up and that's where I sold. Came down. There was some pretty heavy selling down there and it just went nowhere. So now we've come back up to where this high volume node is and we're just sitting here. Kind of feeling like we could get into this 27 value area and just sit here.
You don't think it's time for a move higher? Or you just don't see the reason why there would be one?
Well, it could. I do think that because we pushed lower there, heavy selling and didn't go any higher. Stubborn.
Well, I hope it goes higher. I bought 26s.
I do see that when we ticked up to 27 was when volume weighted moving got high up enough that I could consider. I don't want to buy it in the that 24 was that kind of that area where there was a odd action. Okay.
Order filled.
Buyers just kind of rolled over on that one, didn't they?
Order filled.
What got filled?
I was short from.
Oh, you think it got filled at 20?
Master Yoda said
That's what it-
S.21. Fran said scalping short.
I might have to go back. Probably like.
Fran said if it gets below 20
Yeah,
maybe a
124
chance to go
did
to
nothing at
04.
the offer.
Master Yoda said out 23. Tick Magnate said buyers faded out on ZB, no reversal trade yet. Tick Magnate said nice Seth.
Trade again if I can.
Tick Magnate said
24.
makes for a tight stop. Fran said I show the low at 20.
Could have been filled at 20 for sure now.
Oh, because they traded 538 at the bid? And you were 400 in line?
Yeah. Well, it was 400 in line, but I would have.
Okay. You're filled. I was looking at this daily chart and there was a lot of lines on here, but 53.18 was the low from 2 weeks ago before we had that early morning report that led us into the Fed announcement.
Right.
Area. So the pivot low at 53.18, pivot high at 57.08.
Fran
53.18 is the first target. 53.01 was the pivot low from 2
Fran
weeks
said
prior
just
to that.
speculating.
Get my head.
Anyway, then we got a couple of extensions based on that move from pivot low to pivot high. Down here in the 52.22 and 52.04 area. On the way up, we hit these ones 23 and 38. Well, we missed the one at 38 by 3 ticks. That was that May low to the, what was that, June high?
I was interested.
June 6th.
That level that we opened at.
Fran said holding this one short for a while.
Holiday.
Yeah, I was just looking at some unfinished auctions down there on the 15-minute chart. There's one at 17 and one at 15. 53.15 and 53.17. And there's the 53.18 off of the daily chart. On that, we're into this 304.05 area. Yeah, we took 2 full points off the spread
Order
between
filled.
the bond and the note. Remember the other day I said we were trading around the other day there was more than 30 points between the two of them. Today we're looking at 28.
I was really hoping that the auction higher today. That was a stop run.
Master Yoda said L21.
Order filled.
Old Hubert Center's sell the 8-tick pullback worked again last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Had a 10-tick pullback. After
Master
they opened,
Yoda said I've made a lot today.
they
And lost
retested
it
the
in
little
3
same level
trades.
over here,
Fully SHT.
502. Off of 54.24, so. His sell would have been 55 even and hold it for a point. Worked again.
Oh, we're
Yep.
that was a scary stop run. That was at a stop set there. You could have had 3 ticks of slippage.
Master Yoda said watch 23.
Order filled.
Master Yoda said out 25 half.
Order filled.
Fran said out -1 tick. Fran said I was short from 24. Fran said grinning face with smiling eyes. Master Yoda said someone still hold 24 to 26. Master Yoda said large ask 25.
Order filled.
So, if we get above, say, 30, what do you have next? 09?
You mean above 31?
I was saying 30 because we had a gap there on the one tick chart. Oh,
You mean the one range chart?
yeah, sorry, on the one. There's a pretty good chance we close that gap above 31. Then I'm not sure. Above 31, then maybe. Like, oh,
What time frame?
well, I'm just looking at it. Trend. Top of the trend.
Well, last pullback we had before we came down to test this low at 20 was this one here at 03. Right? So if they close your gap from 31 to 30, here's 03 would be the next place to look for too much supply.
Right.
It's like the buck to 03.
I'm trying to see if you know, so if you look at it on a one range chart where I have my cursor there at 09, that would be like a single print on a one, and kind of tracking to see as predictive as the that
Well, here's my one range chart with the gaps. So there's your 31 to 30. The next one's 04 to 3.
Oh yeah.
The next one above that is 10 to 9.
I'm looking to see if single prints on a one range chart are as predictive as they've been on. Might not be able to trade it.
Master Yoda said out
We've
25.
already tested that 31 to 30 gap, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
7:54, 7:59, 8 o'clock,
We
8:36.
when we tested the 31,
Master Yoda said angry.
or sorry, 8:35 Eastern. It was like nobody wanted to trade 31. A few contracts went out there, it ticked down, and they immediately sold it down at that gap. That was my entry signal there. So that was lack of interest up there.
On a 15-minute time frame, there's an unfinished auction there at 31.
So something I've noticed is that on one side, when we cause, like right now, when we're getting tops, it's like it's a top because nobody else wants to buy it. When we get bottoms, it's because there's a super heavy demand up there. Nobody cared when it was at 30. When we were trading down at 17, like everybody was doing something.
Fran said scalping long not an easy day.
I think we'll stop there. I do have, before we go though, I have a question about how you use the moving average. So like, with the moving average that I have on my chart right now, at least.
Master Yoda said not Seth.
Yep.
Long from
I've
21.
noticed that you'll have there's a tendency to come above the moving average for just a few bars, go right back down. So it's like, so is that where you use the longer time frame moving average to not get caught in those, or makes sense?
I'm not sure. What are you looking at?
But let me take a picture.
Well, just tell me what you're looking at.
Well, I'm looking at a volume weighted moving average of 14 on my one range chart.
Okay. And
So on the time frame where I have my cursor at, you can see we were above the moving average for a little bit, and then we failed and gapped down below the moving average.
mhm.
So if I'm saying, okay, I only want to buy when we're above the moving average, sell when we're below the moving average. No, there was a possibility there. Not that I did it, but there's a possibility there that I could have said, oh, we're going
Fran
up.
said fills are slow too.
Bought 26, and then got stopped out to 24. So I'm wondering, in your strategies, do you use the higher time frame moving averages to prevent you from doing that sort of a thing, or is it just kind of more of a other things like CI and experience and so on?
Well, in those strategies that Remus worked on for me, what we were looking for was the price to cross this moving average.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wanted to see all of those moving averages line up, so we don't get our first signal till they're all green.
Right.
And then the CCI, the little moving average on the CCI has to be rising for the long signals to show up. Like in this area where it was falling,
Right.
there's no long signals in here. There's a couple short signals. Like these short signals coincide with this falling on the CCI. And all the moving averages being down or red. So as soon as price crossed the moving average, you had a signal.
Yeah.
Be short at 24. I'm just looking on this 1 minute chart.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
I guess because in that spot you have one long, then you have one short, but then when higher time frame of that long.
Yeah, on the 5 minute, we haven't had a long signal yet. We've only had short signals. There hasn't been until this bar now. It's the first time we had all four of the moving averages green for a long. That's not to say you couldn't have taken a look at something else.
There's your 30.
Yeah, 30,
Right.
31. Two lot.
Yeah, I've had kind of a epiphany in how I look at things, because I feel like before, because I was really trying to get low price risk entries, and I still do that, but I think that when I was trying to get the low price risk entry, I kind of went with the mindset of I don't think it's going to trade. So like I would be sitting here 30, 31 and saying, okay, I don't think we're going to trade 154 even. And go short at 31 there. And now what I do instead is I say this price, because of the action that happened there last time that we were at that price, I think that there's a high probability of that price. So because there was a gap there between 30, good chance of us going back to 30. Could have gone long from 26. Long from 26 to 30. If I've found that's been a much higher probability trades for me.
Yeah, on that on that 5 minute chart, the first signal's along at 25. Just based on the fact that the pivot low confirmed there, we crossed that EMA that I use. The CCI the bars were shrinking and they were inside that 100 line, heading for the zero or the cross.
Yep.
Right. And the only thing that didn't agree were all this trend, trend bias up at the top. But anyway, just the pivot, the break inside at 25. And then over on this 1 minute, if you look at the same things,
Yeah.
the pivot confirmed at 22. These bars were inside the 100 line, closer to the 50 line. All this was rising, so.
And I really like these areas where they test your moving average, but the CCI is still above and staying consistent. It right there at 153, right where you get your arrow at. There's a few tails below the moving average. OGs and close below it. Confirmations at that point of
Mhm.
traded, come off of it. So I think that right there is why going more for looking for prices that you think are going to trade rather than what may or may not trade works better, because you could go long from 5, get out at 31, and sure, maybe it would have gone higher, but you still gotten a profit. Other way, I kind of look at it like, well, okay, so are we going to try and trade 31? Okay. I would have gotten disappointed.
Right.
Anyways, cool. I will see you
Friday?
I have a gig tonight.
A gig?
A gig.
You're a DJ. Well. No, don't think so.
Or price index. Okay, well, I guess I'll come. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, good luck.
Master Yoda said this is F# hashtag at dollar at e hashtag.